The air around you has been heavy lately, hasn't it? You felt a strange, inexplicable pressure in your chest, a weight that doesn't belong to your own worries, but feels like the very atmosphere is pushing against your soul. You've been waking up between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m., your eyes snapping open in the pitch black, feeling as though someone just called your name, yet the house is silent. You sit there in the stillness, heart racing, sensing a presence that the world tells you isn't there. You feel like a stranger in your own life, walking through rooms you've lived in for years, but suddenly feeling like a guest who has stayed too long. This is the cold reality of the shift you are entering. You've noticed that people are looking at you differently. Total strangers stare at you in the grocery store with an intensity that feels like they are trying to read a language written on your skin that they can't quite translate. Friends you've had for a decade suddenly seem shallow, their conversations feeling like static noise, and you find yourself craving a solitude so deep it feels like disappearing. You've been experiencing physical symptoms that the doctors can't explain. Random ringing in your ears that shifts from a low hum to a high-pitched frequency, making you tilt your head as if listening for a distant radio station. Sudden waves of heat that radiate from your spine, or a cold chill that settles in your bones even when the sun is shining. You feel exhausted, not the kind of tiredness that a night's sleep can fix, but a soul weariness that comes from carrying a secret you haven't even told yourself yet. You've been dropping things, losing your balance, or feeling spaced out, as if your spirit is hovering several inches outside of your physical frame. You look in the mirror, and for a split second, you don't recognize the reflection. The eyes looking back at you seem older, more ancient, filled with a fire that doesn't match the mundane life you are currently leading. You feel like you are waiting for a train that is late, or an appointment that was never put on the calendar. But you know deep in the marrow of your bones that something is coming. The loneliness has become an ache. It's not just that you are alone, it's that you feel apart. You sit at the dinner table with your family and listen to them talk about their dramas, their bills, their petty grievances, and it feels like you are watching a movie in a foreign language. You try to participate, you try to care about the things they care about, but there is a barrier between you. It's a glass wall. They can see you, and you can see them, but the frequency doesn't match. You've been labeled the difficult one, the sensitive one, or the black sheep, because you can no longer pretend to be satisfied with the crumbs of a matrix-fed existence. You feel a righteous anger bubbling under the surface, not an anger born of hate, but an anger born of the realization that you have been lied to about who you are. You've spent your whole life trying to fit your ocean-sized spirit into a teacup-sized life, and the porcelain is finally starting to crack. Heaven has been watching this struggle, while you were crying on the floor of your bathroom, wondering why you have to go through so much more than everyone else. The celestial realms were in a state of focused observation. They saw the way you handled the betrayal of people you trusted. They saw the way you kept your heart open, even after it was shattered by those who were supposed to protect you. They saw the light you tried to dim just to make the people around you feel comfortable. You thought you were being punished, but you were being refined. You thought you were being rejected by the world, but you were being set apart by the divine. The isolation you are feeling right now isn't a prison, it's a cocoon. It is the silence before the symphony. You are being prepared for a reveal that will shake the very foundations of your lineage. You aren't crazy, and you aren't failing. You are vibrating at a level that the current environment can no longer sustain. And the friction you feel is the sign that you are about to break through the veil. The reason your life feels like a battlefield is not because you are weak, but because you are a high-value target in a war you didn't know you were recruited for. You have been wondering why the rules that work for everyone else don't seem to apply to you. Others can lie, manipulate, and shortcut their way to success. Yet the moment you step even an inch out of alignment, the universe corrects you with a heavy hand. You feel a constant, nagging pressure to be perfect. And when you fail, the guilt is soul-crushing. This is because you are currently under a divine mandate. You aren't just a person living a life. You are an ambassador of a higher frequency. And heaven is holding you to the standard of the realm you actually belong to. The symptoms you've been feeling, the sudden loss of interest in your career, the collapsing of long-term friendships, the feeling that your very personality is dissolving, are the result of a frequency mismatch. You are vibrating too high for the basement of the matrix, and the ceiling is starting to scrape your head. You were born with a spiritual seal on your forehead that the enemy can see. Even if you can't, this seal acts like a lighthouse. And in a world that prefers the darkness, your light is an irritant. This is why you've always felt like you had a target on your back. From the playground to the boardroom, people have been intimidated by you without you saying a single word. They sense the authority in your spirit. And because they are slaves to their own shadows, they react to your presence with projection. They call you arrogant when you are just quiet. They call you difficult when you set a boundary. They try to haze you into submission because your very existence reminds them of the divinity they've traded away for comfort. You aren't being picked on, you are being vibrated against. The Matrix is a sentient, energetic system, and it has identified you as a foreign body, an immune response triggered by a soul that refuses to be digitized. Heaven saw the moment you decided to stop lying to yourself. That was the moment the observation turned into activation. You broke a fundamental law of the lower realms, the law of conformity. By choosing to seek the truth, you effectively poked the hive. This is why your life seemed to get harder the moment you started your spiritual journey. You expected peace, but you got a storm. This is the spiritual paradox. To go higher, you must first be detached from everything that anchors you to the lower planes. Every loss you've experienced in the last year was actually a divestment. The universe is stripping away the excess baggage, the toxic relationships, the dead-end jobs, the false identities, because where you are going, that weight will pull you into the abyss. You are being lightened for the ascent. The headaches and the pressure in your third eye are the physical manifestations of your spiritual hardware being upgraded to handle a higher voltage of divine intelligence. You are a cycle breaker, and that is the most dangerous job in the cosmos. You carry the genetic key to unlock the cages that have held your bloodline in bondage for 7 generations. Every time you refuse to react with the same bitterness your mother did, or the same rage your father did, you are rewriting the spiritual code of your entire lineage. This creates a massive energetic friction. You are moving against a current of ancestral trauma that has the momentum of centuries behind it. Of course you are tired. You are swimming upstream while everyone else is floating toward the waterfall. But heaven is watching the way you hold your ground. They are recording the moments you choose kindness over vengeance, and silence over vanity. You have been vetted in the secret places. You have passed the tests of isolation and betrayal. Now, the reason for the silence is being revealed. You were being hidden while your new mantle was being prepared. The old you had to die completely so the chosen one could occupy the space. You aren't losing your mind, you are losing your programming. And for the first time in your existence, your soul is finally breathing the air of its true home. The Matrix is reacting to you right now because it is terrified. Have you noticed how the people around you, the ones who used to have power over your emotions, are suddenly acting out in desperation? They sense that the leash they once held on your soul has snapped. The narcissists, the energy vampires, and the systems of control that have fed off your light for years are starving. And they are starting to panic. When a chosen one begins to realize their true identity, it sends a shockwave through the energetic field. It is like a glitch in their software. They see you moving differently. They see that your eyes no longer reflect the fear they try to plant there. They are throwing everything they have at you, smear campaigns, sudden financial hurdles, or random bouts of bad luck, because they are trying to drag your frequency back down to a level where they can manage you. They don't want you to realize that you are the one who has been keeping their world illuminated. You have noticed the projection getting worse. People are accusing you of the very things they are doing. They call you selfish because you finally said no. They call you crazy because you can see through the illusions they spend so much energy maintaining. This is a strategic strike by the enemy to make you doubt your own sanity. They need you to stay in a state of confusion, because a confused chosen one is a paralyzed chosen one. But look closely at their faces the next time they try to provoke you. You will see a flicker of fear in their eyes. They aren't angry at you. They are intimidated by the authority that is rising within you. They know that if you fully wake up, their reign over your life is over. They are like ghosts trying to haunt a house that has just been filled with blinding sunlight. They are fading, and their desperation is the loudest proof of your impending victory. The enemy's greatest fear is your silence. When you stopped explaining yourself, you became a mystery they couldn't solve. When you stopped reacting to their bait, you withdrew the life force that was keeping their dramas alive. You have become an energetic void to them, a place where their manipulation goes to die. They are trying to poke you to see if the old you is still in there. They are looking for that old wound, that old insecurity, that old need for validation. But heaven has cauterized those wounds with the fire of isolation. You have learned to find your validation in the secret place of the Most High. And that makes you untouchable. The Matrix is currently trying to re-index you, searching for a way to categorize you. But you no longer fit into their boxes. You are unlabeled. You are unscripted. You are a wild element in a controlled simulation. Why are they so scared? Because you carry the frequency of truth. And truth is a solvent that dissolves lies. Just by walking into a room, you bring the shadows to the surface. This is why people get agitated around you for no reason. This is why secrets seem to spill out of people when they are in your presence. Your aura is a judgment seat without you even saying a word. You are a walking mirror, and most people cannot handle the reflection you show them. The enemy is trying to isolate you right now to make you feel like you are failing. But the divine is isolating you to insulate you. You are being kept in a high-frequency bubble so that the frantic, low vibrational death rattles of the falling matrix don't contaminate your transition. You are holding the key to the exit, and the guards are terrified that you're about to show everyone else where the door is. Stand still. Their noise is just the sound of a kingdom collapsing. You aren't being attacked. You are being resisted because you are winning. There is a divine blueprint for your life that was written before the foundations of this world were laid. And what you are experiencing now is the great alignment. You have spent years wondering why your path has been so jagged, so uphill, and so filled with thorns, while others seem to stroll through a manicured garden. The truth is, the universe does not give its heaviest burdens to its weakest souls. It gives them to the architects of the new era. You are a prototype. Heaven saw the stellar material in your spirit, the raw, unyielding substance that refuses to break under pressure. and they chose you to be the one who carries the torch through the darkest part of the tunnel. This isn't just a life, it is a mission. You are part of an elite spiritual lineage that has been sent to Earth at this specific moment to act as a frequency anchor. While the world is spinning into chaos and the old systems are dissolving into the dust of their own corruption, you are being held steady by a law that is higher than the laws of man. The theology of your existence is rooted in the divine remnant. In every age of great transition, there are those who are called out from the masses. You have felt this calling as a persistent whisper in your soul, telling you that there is more. This isn't ego. It is spirit recognition. You are recognizing the vastness of the Creator within the smallness of your human experience. The reason you can't fit into the matrix anymore is that your light body has outgrown the container. Think of it like a seed that has finally cracked its shell. To the seed, the cracking feels like death. It feels like the end of the world. It feels like being torn apart. But to the gardener, it is the first sign of life. You are sprouting. You are reaching for a sun that the people still trapped underground cannot even imagine exists. You are beginning to operate under the law of grace, which supersedes the law of karma. The debts of your ancestors, the mistakes of your past, and the labels the world tried to pin on, you are being dissolved in the high-frequency light of your rebirth. The prophecy for your life is one of restoration. Everything the locusts have eaten in your life, the years lost to trauma, the tears shed in loneliness, the potential that felt stifled by toxic people, is being accounted for in the celestial ledgers. Heaven is not just watching, heaven is investing. You are being prepared for a quantum leap where the next 5 years of your life will look nothing like the last 20. You are moving into a season of uncommon favor, where doors will open, not because you knocked, but because your frequency matched the lock. You are being positioned as a leader of the transition, someone who will provide the calm in the coming storms. This is why your training has been so rigorous. You had to learn how to find peace in the middle of a fire, so that you can lead others out of the flames when their worlds begin to shake. You are the evidence of the divine's victory. Every time you stand back up after being knocked down, you are proving that the light is invincible. The universe is currently recalibrating your reality to match your new internal state. This is why things are falling away so rapidly. It is a divine clearance sale. If it doesn't serve your highest purpose, it cannot stay in your field. You are being moved into a sanctuary state where you will be provided for, protected, and directed by intuition rather than intellect. You are no longer navigating by the stars of this world. You are being guided by the internal compass of the Holy Spirit. Trust the void. Trust the silence. Trust the unknown. In the higher realms, nothingness is the space where everything is created. You are standing at the edge of your own creation. And the Creator is whispering, I saw this in you before you were even a thought. Now, it is time for you to see it too. Now, take a deep breath. Feel the weight of the air around you changing as you accept this truth. You are no longer the victim of your circumstances. You are the victor of your destiny. The activation has begun to seal this energy. You must move from seeking to being. The first practical step in your new authority is the divine silence. Stop explaining your soul to people who don't have the ears to hear it. Stop casting your pearls before those who only know how to trample. Your energy is your currency. And from this moment forward, you are no longer spending it on the debts of others. Ground yourself in the earth beneath your feet and realize that you are a bridge between the physical and the celestial. When the world tries to shake you, remember that you are anchored in a kingdom that cannot be moved. You are the eye of the storm. Let us seal this transition with a declaration of power. Close your eyes and let these words vibrate through your very cells. I speak over your life right now. I decree that every chain of ancestral bondage is shattering into dust. I declare that the spiritual seal upon your life is now glowing with an unquenchable fire that blinds the enemy and attracts your true tribe. I speak healing into the marrow of your bones and peace into the depths of your mind. You are covered by the wings of the Almighty. No weapon formed against your mind, your body, or your purpose shall prosper, because you are no longer operating under the laws of this world. You are a divine sovereign. You are the light that the darkness could not comprehend. I seal your path with favor. I seal your heart with courage. And I seal your future with the absolute certainty of heaven's provision. It is done. It is finished. And it is so. You have been hidden for a reason. But the season of your hiding is over. The reveal is at hand. You will start to see signs in the physical world within the next 72 hours. Synchronicities that are so specific they will make you laugh out loud with the realization that you are being looked after. Look for the repeated numbers, the sudden appearance of nature in your path, and the random messages from people who carry the same frequency as you. These are the breadcrumbs of grace leading you out of the wilderness and into your inheritance. Do not look back at the burning cities of your past. Do not mourn the people who chose to stay in the matrix. Your journey is forward, upward, and inward. You have passed the test of the black sheep, and you are now being crowned as a shepherd of the new light. If you felt the fire in your spirit today, if you recognized your own story in these words, then the activation is already complete. You don't have to work for it. You simply have to occupy it. Claim this word in the comments by typing "I am activated" to anchor this frequency into the physical realm. Subscribe to this sanctuary to stay aligned with the messages meant for your specific journey. Share this with one other soul who is struggling in the dark. For as you give light, your own light doubles. Heaven saw something in you, and now the whole world is about to see it too. Stand tall. Chosen one, your time has finally arrived.